Hello, everyone.
Hello, it's Miracle Mom and Michael.
Welcome back, and welcome to the Banhammer. Do you know what a
The
banhammer is?
Van Hammer.
It's it's like,
The CIA has a hammer.
oh yeah,
Yeah, they do. That's
yeah.
no joke.
Well, that's actually the probably the best um, similar illustration to what I'm talking about. Right, the CIA can shut somebody down. Right,
Yes.
they can basically end your life. They can take your business. They can frame you and blame you for anything, right?
Oh, they can even make up something to blame on you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They can even, well, we're talking about a CIA in the wrong hands, right?
Yeah, right.
Which we should be talking about because in our glorious and inglorious history, the CIA has not always been in good hands, right?
No.
And so, you and I would both argue that most recently our CIA has not been in good hands, but I would argue that it is now, or at least we're at the beginning of. I think the cleansing. Gosh, that's an awful word to use. Uh,
Purging.
right, the purge, the winnowing. Oh, that's probably it. The winnowing, right? How do you separate the wheat from the chaff? Or have you?
I don't think anyone's convinced that it's been adequately purged for
Right.
sure.
It's a process, and there are people
Yeah.
working on it. And the
We're
latest,
at the exposure. We're at the exposure end of it right now.
exactly, literally, the public, like government documents are being released, and that's
Yeah.
actually the government is supposed to be as transparent as possible with the people. There are certain things that they need to obviously have as top secret, but things that have come and gone, like historically, there are plenty of things that are concealed that doesn't you don't have to conceal it, and especially if there was wrongdoing, the more basically it's how you clean and you expose the bad to the light, and documents are just being released and people are being able to see it for themselves and realize that.
Well, the CIA was intended to be for foreign purposes, not domestic.
Well, yeah, and so CIA or FBI, but they work in tandem because there's international
Right.
players involved, right? It's a global, right, a global economy or whatever. We are this globalism thing, this idea that we can all be one. It's like this notion that there's a default global agreement about how government should be run. Does that make sense? A default.
Yeah.
People think that you can join a group of countries and everybody will come to an automatic agreement about what should be done in the world. That's like nonsense. It's like it's like how you have an international health organization that uh, will kind of cater to whoever he prefers to listen to, right? It's like there is no agreement. There are enemies in this world and there are friends, and lines are being drawn, and there's a lot of people talking about it. We're talking about it, and I kind of hesitate to talk about it. You know why?
Why?
Because I don't want to feel the banhammer. I don't want to feel
Well,
the banhammer.
see, my new profession that I have now is I'm a granny commentator. I go on my Facebook page and get all these posts that everybody put up. And I always comment. I find, something to say about every single post that comes up.
You just
And every time I post, I think, boy, I'm going to get the band hammer on this one.
You are just putting it out there. Oh.
I am putting it out there. I said to
Uh-oh.
God, you know what, God, I don't have much time. I'm
Uh-oh.
going to put the truth out, and that's what it's going to be. The truth, the truth, the truth.
I just had an
And I've gotten band hammered about 3 times in the last week
Really?
by Facebook. Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
You know,
Mom,
what?
I'm having this epiphany that I'm aligned with some kind of extremist. Mom, what have you done to my reputation?
No. I'm only telling the truth.
Oh,
See?
okay, good. Then we're on the same. Then we're on the same page. Hey.
I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. If somebody doesn't like it,
Yeah.
oh well.
And that's the thing. I've talked about this in previous segments, but I believe those who own technology and those who are inventing technology, that those who make a commitment, like basically a moral agreement, like a moral oath, like you swear an oath that I will only use my inventions, my art.
Yeah.
It can be my art,
Right.
any algorithm, any solution that I come up with myself that I can patent and own. I will commit to using that only for good, and that's where you have to start parsing out what does that mean. What does it mean to be good? And the bottom line is, anyone who wants to wantonly terminate or harm human, like anything human, like human DNA, human anything that is human.
Yeah.
So you just draw that line. Anybody who wants to wantonly promote the destruction of human life, that's where you draw the line. There's good and there's evil. And so you just boil it all the way down. So if you get everybody in technology on the correct side of that binary choice, the bad guys are just toast. Literally, you could make bullets obsolete. Like every person who invents a new thing, if the military takes and uses it and tries, bombs exist to stop other people from having bombs. But if you were able to secure technologically the entire planet from the malfeasance of bad governing, of wrongness in power, if everybody in technology, it would make bad governing irrelevant, because technologically you could just draw the line. It would transcend political governing. It would be like anybody who wants to be involved in the coolest stuff being created on the planet, side with us. It's like USA or China. It's like follow technology or not, right? That would be that binary choice.
Yeah.
Like if I ever am able to create a business that was successful, right? Like I'm producing content right now. I'm looking at a camera. I'm recording it. Later, I'm going to chop it up. I'm going to start posting it, and people are going to watch it. We have people watching. Like this video will get 4 watches, or it'll get 13 watches, or it'll get 50 watches. I have no idea. It depends on what I label it, how I title it, how many times I email it, or I have control. But creating content is the thing. If it's already there and one thing strikes a chord with somebody, it could be like a steamroll effect where everybody starts coming your way. So I'm just kind of babbling here, but I don't want to experience the band hammer. In the meantime, I'm reducing the content that's put up, and I am about to create an email list. So I had to sign up for an email list.
Oh, okay.
Thing. I'll just put all these email addresses in, then I'll write something up, and it will send them out individually, probably with the people's individual names on them or whatever. And that's how the views will start on the content. People start watching it, and the GoFundMe financing. People give $5. I don't know what the limits are. People give $100. Maybe someone will give $1,000. I don't know. But I set the limit at 70,000. So that's another commercial here at the end of this video. By the time this video is posted, in fact, by the time all the videos we do in this session is posted, the GoFundMe campaign will be linked in the description. So if you're
Are you
watching this
gonna send me
video,
the link
I will send
to
it.
it?
It'll be in every video that is posted. It'll
Oh,
be in the
okay,
description section. The link will be there, and you can pass it on. It's like some
okay.
people don't have money, but they know people that have money that think this would be interesting. Or, I don't want it to just be GoFundMe is free. It's a charitable thing. It's like GoFundMe makes a little bit of money and I get to keep the rest. But I'm also
Yeah.
sitting on so much content that I want to share the ownership. So I'm there. There's another, and I'll just drop this here. I haven't said this in any of the videos yet, but this is kind of a news flash for anybody who watched to the end of the Banhammer. Anybody watched to the end of the Banhammer? I am planning on creating I think it's called a WeFunder campaign. So it's like a GoFundMe, but it's nothing like GoFundMe.
Okay.
WeFunder is crowd ownership. GoFundMe is
Oh,
crowdfunding. Like people just give their money to your cause. But
right.
WeFunder is you can own, and rather than just giving to someone else and letting them spend the money on creating content and benefiting from it, you can raise money and everybody has a tiny piece. However much money they put in, they can buy however many shares. So it's like stock in
Oh,
this,
okay.
in
Yeah.
it's the gig economy. And so that's my goal is that either I'll do one more GoFundMe after this one, or this one could actually raise enough money to keep me going for a while and start hiring people. But the WeFunder thing is, I could take the name of the show that I'm about to start posting on Tales of Truth, right? Those are separate entities. Tales of Truth is a YouTube channel. The show that I'm about to start posting, it's recurring, can be its own intellectual property, right?
Okay.
And so the name of that show can be divided into ownership, like that people can own that show, and so one of the things I want, those are some of the things coming up. You know,
Okay.
I'm not banned. Nobody's banned me. I don't want the ban hammer to come down. I'm going to try and focus. I don't want to talk too much politics, but I do want to have an honest cultural commentary in this archive that we're creating.
Good. Sounds good.
All right. Do you have any final thoughts? I'm moving on to another topic, Mom.
No final thoughts on this one.
I'm going to surprise you. I have something coming up.
Okay.
Yeah. We've
Yeah.
we've barely even started my list. How much time do you have?
I don't know. You'll have to ask God.
All right. Well, bye everybody.
Goodbye.